Oh no. This week is going to test everything you thought you healed. The anger, the pressure, the fear of being misunderstood. But underneath all of it, a timeline is waiting for you. One where you finally stop performing and start becoming. If you've been sensing a deep shift coming, you're not wrong. Mars is burning up the past. The Leo new moon is rewriting your identity, and the universe is whispering, don't go back. Not this time. Welcome back, beautiful ones. This is your Hero Series forecast for the week of July 21st through the 27th. And it's not a quiet week because we've got Mars conjunct that south node right here in Virgo, of all places. This is going to be unearthing karmic patterns of guilt, burnout, and unspoken resentment. You know, you can have unspoken resentment, right? It's time to like get real serious with yourself. Okay. Then we have this Leo new moon that's going to be happening. Okay. So we're going to have a Leo new moon, and it is going to be trining this. It's going to be trining retrograde Saturn and Neptune. And what that's asking you is to rebuild your life from your soul, not the wound. And let's not forget, Mercury is retrograde right now, and he is squaring Lilith right here. Black Moon Lilith, he's squaring. In of all places, Scorpio. This is deep. And y'all are we're all feeling it. Okay. Whatever it is for you guys, everybody it's different, right? But it's deep. Okay. So this is going to be pulling your deepest shadow into the light of your voice. You need to process. It's time to process this. It's time to say what you need to say. Okay. So one last thing that I'll talk about in just a little bit, but I have a video that goes deeper into this aspect that I'm going to say. Okay. This aspect right here, this south node, but mainly this Venus and Mars right here. So today, Venus along with the moon right here is squaring this Mars. Okay. And south node. The past is coming up, right? There is a relationship between you and yourself, but it's mirrored with the people and situations around you. And I go deeper into this other video. So I'm going to put the video up here, and please, please watch it, especially right now. Okay. When I first made it, it didn't get very many views because I was fighting the algorithm at the time, but it is a good explanation of that Mars and Venus having the conversation with Pluto and our karmic deepest wounds and how we're dealing with them. So please go back because it's relevant now. It's relevant now for the next year and something. It's always going to be relevant, but it'll help you move through this energy. Okay. So this is part of it. It's like imperative. From my point of view, it's imperative that you go watch this video. Okay. Some of you have seen it already, but it's been a while because I did it in 2024. Okay. So this week, this is a week of emotional truth, of nervous system recalibration. One of the biggest messages I'm getting from our higher selves, from spirit, is this nervous system our nervous system at the society, on a globe, and in our bodies, having to heal, realign, understand, work through. We need to do our part, because what they're showing me is how are you going to anchor the flow of the abundance and the life that you see, have it run through you without destroying your body? Because you've already done it that way, right? So this is really important for us, this nervous system recalibration. Okay. And the other part is the radical self-honoring. Okay. And in this episode, we're not just going to decode the astrology. That's not what I do here. I don't just decode it. We're going to show you how to work with it to shift your actual timeline. Okay. So if you're ready to break the old loop, if you're ready to reclaim your fire and stand in your unapologetic becoming, this is the forecast for you. All right. So let's talk, let's deepen the conversation about the energy of this week, because I think it's really important. We don't do light astrology over here. Or light anything over here. I wish I could, but I don't. Okay, so this Mars conjunct the South Node in Virgo, that happened, or like that went exactly yesterday. So that was on the 20th. Today is the 21st. You need to understand this isn't just a clearing, okay? So Mars in here with talking to the South Node is about those past patterns, but this isn't just, and it's having this conversation in the house of Virgo, right? So uh this is karmic. This is like you really looking at your past and your past patterns and the past things that you've done, okay? And what you're ready to let go of. All right, so this Mars in Virgo, this brings heat to the parts of you that tried to stay small through doing the right thing, right? That's happened a lot for some of you. The one that tried to earn love through fixing and helping and staying quiet or being in control, right? The South Node is going to drag up patterns you thought you were done with, especially around perfectionism, over responsibility, being hyper vigilant, and the fear of not being useful. That's a big fear for a lot of us, okay? Not being useful. So, this can look like snapping at someone for not appreciating all you do. And this is because deep down, you're tired of proving your worth. Okay. It can also look like becoming obsessive over your routine or your health because it's the only thing that feels within your control. That's so true. I've done this in past cycles. That's so true. Okay. It can also look like feeling angry, but underneath it, realizing how exhausted you are from trying to be everything to everyone. That's exhausting. So I know some of you are exhausted. Okay. This aspect asks, what are you willing, or what are you still fighting to maintain that your soul has already outgrown? What are you still fighting to maintain that? Your soul has already outgrown this. So why are you continuing to do this? Right? And more importantly, what it's asking is, are you mistaking a coping mechanism for a calling? This is where you need to get really truthful with. Trust me, it is going to come up in your face if you have this problem, any of the issues, okay? That's what this aspect is for. That's what's really going on. And you're going to be feeling it if you haven't already. All right. Then what we're going to have is and that's already starting today. That's already started like the last couple of days, right? But then we're going to have this Leo new moon, okay? So on the 24th, right here, we're going to have a Leo new moon, okay? And it is trining right here. And that's a good aspect, but some people can take it wrong, right? This is here to help you. So is this, all these are here to help you, right? But this is trining this. We've been talking a lot about this Saturn and Neptune, okay? This Saturn and Neptune retrograde. So on this Leo new moon, remember, we're going to start new patterns. We're going to start new things because that's Leo. We're going to honor ourselves, right? But this is a new phase in that, right? But it's asking and it's trining Neptune and Saturn retrograde. What have you been thinking? What have you been trying to manifest, and what actions are you taking? It's like having you look at this as you go through the new moon. So for some of you, you're on point. You're on point with this aspect, and you'll be getting and receiving some things, right? Others of you, you have to have the courage to look, right? So Let me say this in a different way. This isn't just a new moon, it's a mirror. And it's asking, are you ready to live as if your light matters? Are you ready? So, Leo brings you the courage to shine. Aries brings the independence to stand alone if needed. And Saturn, Saturn, he's saying, make it real. Neptune is saying, make it soulful. And the trine that connects all four corners, this trine, the trine connects all four corners of your becoming. Okay, this is part of who you're becoming. But the claim to this version of you, unlike the other versions of you, the one who doesn't perform, doesn't shrink, doesn't beg to be seen, you must let go of the identities you built for survival. Do you understand? If you're sticking to the identity that's built for survival, that is what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. Okay? So it is time to step into with courage and clarity and action into that identity of you that you have always known yourself to be. Just haven't anchored it, right? So you can't build your next timeline on the top of your last mask. Okay? This is so important. This is why, again, I'm going to have that video here so you go really look deep into this, what you're becoming, who you really are. Okay? Now, also, I want to remind everybody Mercury is retrograde. Okay? So, Mercury is retrograde in Leo. But not only that, he is squaring. He is squaring Lilith and Scorpio. Have you ever seen a Leo and a Scorpio go at it? Like I have. Okay? But this can work with us. They are squaring. So Mercury retrograde, processing, understanding, miscommunication. Did I say what I needed to? Did I hear that correctly? Remember, we're all being triggered by that already, but these are like on top of this. Okay? So, and Lilith, she is headstrong. She's going to do what needs to get done, and she is not going to be taken advantage of. And her being in Scorpio, oh my gosh, like that's even more so. Okay. So I'm just trying to help you understand this energy. This, to me, is being your truthful self, like from the depth of you. Okay. So ongoing activations are going to be happening. This square is potent, it's wild, and it's deeply personal. It activates the exact words right here, comments, or glances that cut into your unspoken wounds. That's why you're being triggered, because you need to understand this about yourself and then decide whether you want to ignore it and allow it to keep coming up, or you want to get through this and transmute this, right? So this is what may be triggering you. You might or you may be triggered not just by others, but by your own voice. Now, please tell me in the comments if you had this, because I have. Now, I'm a medium, so sometimes I'm listening to other voices, but I know I have been in this spot where I'm like, oh my God, I can't even stand myself right now, right? So you could be triggered by that, right? You might hear yourself say something and immediately feel, that wasn't me. That was my fear talking. Like, what are you doing? Right? And Lilith says, own that rawness. Own it. And Mercury says, learn from the echoes. Okay? So together, what this aspect is asking is, can you sit in the fire of being misunderstood and still choose integrity over ego? That is a powerful question that you need to ask yourself. I deal with people and clients that we go through this, right? Because they know I will. You guys know this about me, right? But I want you to ask yourself, can you sit in the fire of being misunderstood and still choose integrity over ego? That's so important for you, for your power, for your identity, for your character, for the you that is going to have the abundance and the relationships and all of that flowing through you, unfolding for you. Okay? Telling you this is a powerful week. So let's talk a little bit about what this week really is asking you to become. Okay? So the alchemist of your own timeline. This is where you can show Saturn, show Neptune. I'm doing this, right? So the alchemist of your own timeline, to not be a victim of your karmic loops. Okay? To not be a puppet to others, people's projections. Okay? That is going to be really triggering for a lot of us. Okay? You're not the puppet of other people's projections. Okay? Put your boundaries down. The alchemist of your own timeline is also asking to not be a performer in someone else's approval drama. I mean, sometimes we get sucked into that, right? Hopefully you don't much, but this is where it's asking that, okay? You are being asked to step into. Remember, I told you guys as your new identity comes through and you anchor it. If you've been watching my Sacred Sync, you'll understand this. Like, releasing that part doesn't mean it's going to go away completely. It means that you will pick it up when you need to as the warrior. It's the sword that you pick up. This is what you're being asked to step into. The warrior with precision. That's Mars in Virgo. Okay. The artist of becoming. That is Leo's new moon. The architect of the invisible. You are forming, and you're not even forming, you're remembering and recognizing your identity that you are wanting to anchor and become reality into this next phase of your life. Okay? And that is the Saturn Neptune retrograde in Aries. Okay? So let me give you a quote for your soul. Your healing isn't passive, it's leadership. Okay? The world doesn't just go by you, not in this group. In this group, we're the leaders of our own destiny, of our own becoming, of our own unfolding. Okay? That's what you need to keep saying this week. My healing isn't passive. I am the leader. Okay? All right. So let me give you something to help your nervous system, to help all of us with our nervous system, because this is so important. And I know these things sound simple and maybe they sound boring and you don't want to do them, but I'm telling you, from what I'm seeing from spirit, from our higher selves, we have got to get to a space where we can hold all these dreams of ours, these unfolding of ours without our bodies breaking down. That's why they're trying to help us. So it may be simple, it may sound boring, but I'm telling you it will help. Okay? Because you guys have lived many lives where you were warriors. That is not what we're at now. Okay? We're not in survival mode. We are in thriving mode, abundance. Okay? But we have a habit to go back to survival because we've had not just our lives, but our DNA, our lineage has that too. And we, as we relax, as we open this up, then they do as well. Okay. So here's this to help your nervous system this week as you're triggered, as things come about. Okay. I want you to connect to your lion's heart. I want you to I love Leos for this. They have such a big open heart, right? Um, and they just wear it on their sleeve. Okay. So I want you to connect to that part of yourself. So I want you to do this later. I want you to inhale deeply through your nose for a 4 count and then into the belly and the heart. Okay, so just really feel those breaths going into your belly and your heart. Okay, so you're going to inhale deeply for a count of 4, then you're going to hold for a count of 4, and then you're going to exhale through your mouth with a gentle sigh for 6 to 8 counts. So just a right? And then I want you to repeat that like 3 to 5 times, okay? And as you exhale, I want you to imagine the tension in your body from your shoulders and your chest and your jaw, a lot of you. I want you to just imagine the tension melting, okay? And say to yourself, it is safe to soften. It is safe to shine. It is safe to be seen, okay? All right. And then I have another one for you. This is going to help. This is like somatic, right? It's very gentle. All right. So this is to reset, to kind of open up that crown chakra and your palm, to anchor through your palms. Okay. So place one hand over your heart, the other gently cupping the back of your neck. Okay. Close your eyes. Rock side to side very subtly. 1 to 2 inches only, just very subtly. Okay. And this is to signal safety to your body. Okay. Signal safety to your body. Just rock side to side with one hand over your heart, one cupping the back of your neck. And then I want you to breathe in through the nose and out through kind of a slightly pursed lips, right? Like, right? This rocking movement, what it does is it communicates to the amygdala that you're not in danger. Okay. And I want you to hold this posture during this time whenever things are triggered. Whenever you get triggered, I want you to do this. Okay. Especially around visibility or criticism. Okay. So if you feel like you're being criticized or not being seen or any kind of those triggers, I want you to do this. Okay. All right, beautiful ones. As I close, I want to remind you, and I hope you get this. I really do hope you get this because a lot of you have questions about or have had in the past. What's my purpose? Why am I here? What am I doing? This is what you're doing. So let me say this. You are not meant to repeat. You are meant to rise. Okay? That's what you're doing here. Now, you are standing at the edge of an echo, the echo of every version of you that thought survival was the highest thing you could achieve. The version of you that performed so they'd love you, that sacrifice so they'd need you, that shrank so they wouldn't fear you. But now, now Mars burns down that performance. That's what he's doing. And that South Node says, you don't owe that version of you anything. Okay? And the new moon whispers, you are not a servant to the past. You are the sovereign of your now. So breathe with me as we say this. As I say this, you are not behind. Okay? You're not broken. You are not too much. You are the frequency of a future that will not repeat the pattern of the past. Your triggers, they're not there to annoy you. They're there to teach you. Your voice is a wand. It's magic. You are magic. You are an alchemist. And your nervous system, it's a sacred temple, learning what peace feels like in power. That is something we have not done, but we can, and we are. You are not meant to repeat. You are meant to rise. And this This is your invitation to rise, beautiful one. Not in rebellion, but in remembrance.